Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again this week. This week's a pretty light week. I got, 5 comics and one in the mail, so that makes 6. But first, we'll start out with my top of the printer museum comics. This is what I had sitting up there. Brian Talbot's Heart of Empire. What number is this? I haven't read this. Chapter 5. Being a complete adventure serialized in 9 installments. I haven't read this one in a while. I'm going to go back and check it out sometime. Little Brian Talbot, and of course a Jack Kirby Eternals. I didn't look up who inked this one. I always think how Jack Kirby always has guys looking out at you and pointing. Look, over there. But looked at these all week. And this is Eternals 11, 1977. I don't know what year this is. It's not on the front. But this is one of the Eternals covers I hardly see anywhere. I glanced at some Eternals covers and went, I never see this. I didn't even recognize it when I pulled it out. So I figured I'd leave this one out this week, and that's what I looked at. And then another cover. This is what I got from eBay. It was a $10 comic, $5 for the comic itself, and $5 for shipping. I've just always loved this cover. I've got it in at least one collected edition, but I've never had it as a comic. And I looked up how much the original would cost, and the original is like $100 for a crappy copy. So this for $10 is a 1990s reprint. And the cover actually even looks better. It's brighter. It's printed nicer. But I've always liked this sort of tribute to the Big Mo, the battleship Missouri back there. And it's kind of a what would I call this? It's kind of a my boys got my back cover. So it's an emotional sort of reminder that in the worst of times, your boys on the Big Mo got your back. So I always liked this cover. Harvey Kurtzman. From back in the early 50s, I think this was. But this comic is a reprint. It's hard to believe that this is from 1993. And I always think of when I first saw this comic, I was probably in high school in the early 80s. So, the early 50s was as far away from the early 80s as the early 90s is to now. That kind of blows my mind. I got a 30-year-old comic now. Nuts. The reprint is a 30-year-old comic. Oh, it looks like I got a comic shop news. Free Comic Book Day 2023. Spider-Man Venom. I guess this is telling us the stuff that's coming out on Free Comic Book Day. Oh, this is the Red Teddy Awards, too. Oh, Comic Shop News has new owners, too. I remember mentioning they had a this past summer or something, they mentioned it was up for sale. They wanted to retire, and a couple of guys bought it. So there's not the long term. Who was it? Cliff Biggers and I can't remember the other guy's name. Aren't doing this anymore. It's Cliff Biggers and Warren Batty, and now it looks like we don't have a new masthead yet. The old guy, but they mentioned in the one I got last week that next issue will be put together by the new guys. So it's like, oh, cool. And here's a Bad Idea comic, one of the ones with my name in it. Escape from Wyoming, number 3. This one's been fun. Let me check the varnish. Nice varnish on the back. There it is. Varnish on the front, everywhere except in that hole in all those bodies. There's my name back there in the production department. But this one's been good. Escape from Wyoming, some aliens use Earth as the prison, and we don't know about it, and there's a jailbreak. In the back, I think Bad Idea does a good job with these, they call them B-sides, these backup stories. That looks like a David Lapham one, right? Let's see. Matt Kindt is the writer, David Lapham is the artist. So a couple of my favorites doing some backup stories. Got a new Matt Kindt book this week. Hold on, let me show you that one. This is one I pulled off the shelf. What a terrible cover. Spy Superb is a traitor. And this is an $8 comic. I didn't even realize that until I was ringing it up on the register. But it feels like it's a 40-pager. But What a terrible cover. I mean, why would you make your cover a plain brown wrapper? I didn't even notice it on the shelf. I was looking at, I don't know, 5 or 6 new books that the covers caught my eye this week, and I'm looking through them going, And it was finally, I was there for 20 minutes. I guess there's the actual cover. I was there for 20 minutes, and I went, oh, what's that one? It looks like a Trader Joe logo. I was like, may as well check it out. And I opened it up and saw Matt Kindt and Sherry Kindt, and I went, oh, Matt Kindt, one of my favorites. And he's actually doing the artwork in this one, too. I think Sherry, his wife, watercolors them. But I like his stuff best when he does his own artwork. I mean, I like him as a writer-artist better than I like him as a writer. Though I do like him as a writer sometimes. It all depends on the artist. Let's see, bananas... just a receipt on the back. I guess that goes with the plain brown wrapper Trader Joe's thing. I have no idea what this is about. I guess it's about a spy. Spy Superb. I thought I saw something about him coming out with a new one, but then this somehow slipped by me. Oh, it looks like there's other covers. There's a Tula Lute cover. I wonder what that one looks like. I don't know, but this I think is the Matt Kindt cover. I don't know if the other ones all have this dumb plain brown wrapper. That's right, I called it dumb. It's just a dumb idea. Who wants to look at that cover? Nobody. I don't know what people are thinking sometimes. Here's a good cover. If you like Spawn, 337. Wow, that 337. That's the first Walt Simonson issue of Thor, right? 1983 was that? Thor 337, the first Walt Simonson Thor, the big Thor relaunch. And that Spawn is up to that same number. Wow. That's a good Spawn cover. Who's doing it? Rory McConville and Carbo Barberi. It's been good. Just a Spawn at war. You know, there's a big Spawn war going on. A whole bunch of different flavors of Spawn out there fighting each other and some demons and things. And it's the last of the 299 books, so it has become a unit of measure on our Friday night show. Is how many Spawns is that? See, who did this cover? Does it tell you? Oh, there's the tiniest little... I don't even know if I can get it in there. Where is it? Way over here is the tiniest little signature. And usually they have cover artists Raymond Gay and Marcial Toledano. I don't know if they did this cover or some other cover, because Spawn usually has multiple covers, but I like that one. Good cover. What else do we have here? It didn't come out. I think I was shorted on 2 comics. New issue of The Proach from Boom wasn't there. That was supposed to be. And the holiday, Scott McTiernan's holiday special that Scott Koblish draws. That wasn't there this week, too. And I pre-ordered both of those, so I don't know what happened to them. We got the Parker Girls, number 4. Some Terry Moore, always good. Parker Girl was a group of super spies, and they're back super spying as one of them was killed. And I like all Terry Moore's stuff, so I buy all Terry Moore. He's one of those automatic purchases for me. So give his stuff a try if you've never tried it. He's the Strangers in Paradise was how he got big in the 90s, and he's been doing other series since then, and going back to Strange. Like these are some Strangers in Paradise characters, but it's not Strangers in Paradise. So. And then this, I picked up on a whim. Philadelphia, number 26. Just because it's at issue 26, and I've never tried it. This is one of those that I remember when it came out. The first issue I looked at and went, I have a prejudice against pun names. I just do. So, Philadelphia is just such a dumb pun in my mind that it made me go, when I saw it. And I remember looking at the first issue and going, whatever, and putting it back. But now that it's at issue 26, I may as well check it out because it's lasted 26 issues. It's got to have some merit to it. So, I'll read Philadelphia 26, see how it is. Let me show you a little bit of my work back here. I see everything sideways because it was falling over on my easel. I was doing another Dreams of Things. 167. I like this one. The light blue and the orange working well together with some purple. Lots of bright colors in this. I love big faces, so we got a big face. This is one that's more up my alley than some of them I'm doing lately that are, the imagery is kind of different than I normally do. This is getting back to my big face imagery. And I always like to make the faces half one color and half the other. It just gives a little more variety. And it's funny, I was just, this one I may have showed back in, the date on it is August 5th, 22. This is one of my Gatsby drawings. He's the villainous-faced butler. And I've been working on the design of my Gatsby book as well as some illustrations. And I was putting the illustrations into the design. And I didn't have the color version of this. I was like, I'm pretty sure a lot of them have been coloring digitally. This one I actually colored with marker. And I'm looking for it in my scans. I'm like, what happened to it? I'm like, I'm pretty sure I did some marker drawings of it. So turns out I just never scanned it in. Usually I scan things in as a matter of course, like the week, if not the day, the week I do them. But this one must have slipped through the cracks. So I had to go scan it in yesterday so I could put it in my digital book so far of all my Gatsby illustrations and things. But he's a villainous-faced fella. Anyway, there you go. Some comics, some artwork, and you guys have a good week out there.